And we are back with Inside the Show. I'm Scuffy. He's Kooks. Welcome to another week of Inside the Show. Appreciate you guys watching along, listening along, wherever you are. Just thank you guys for being here. Oh, we lost Kooks here. We lost the Kooks feed live on. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I was just blocking. I was blocking.
I was looking over. I was like, where'd I go?
I had my Discord thing, or it was on you. Either way, welcome in, everyone. Hope you guys had a good past 2 weeks and are ready. I mean, you got to get your thumbs ready. Really prepared for Friday. Friday is a big day with the Extreme program coming to MLB The Show. Kooks, you're a big advocate of the Extreme program. I know we'll get to more talk about the program itself a little bit later on the podcast, but how pumped are you with it dropping on Friday?
I'm excited. You know me. I love Extreme. I'm a big proponent of that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it this year, if they make some changes and how difficult things are going to be. But like you said, we'll talk more about that later. But I am excited. I'm excited that there's just something to be actually kind of excited about. You know, That's just how feels like the sets and seasons have gone this year.
I think it's the extra program, the unique programs. Like,
yes,
we mentioned the egg hunt before, and how and that came out of blue, by the way, but how great that was for the community and how it was fun to put together. Extreme, we know it's coming. It's a matter of when, and now it's finally going to be here. So the excitement is definitely up, and it's always good to see how people go about the moments, which moment is good for some and just terrible for the other. But like I said, we'll get that a little bit later. So first off today, I kind of want to just, it's I don't know if we would call it the elephant in the room, but it needs to be addressed, right? So I'd rather get it all right from the start. If you guys have been playing it the past 2 weeks, especially with the new set, Season 3, we know about not even one. We know about particular cards being, I wouldn't say a problem, but more so a nuance of what occurs when you use these cards. And we are talking about the two-way player glitch. And we all know about the Donaldsons, the Tanis, and then any other two-way player card. But Kooks, I gotta tell you, man, I finally started playing a ranked season. And I was getting like, I'm actually in the 800s. This is the first time I've been in the 800s in probably 3-4 years because I don't play ranked as much, but I've been enjoying it a lot. And then we found out this particular glitch occurs in the game, and it just feels like MLB Show 20 all over again when you see Kluber, maybe a little bit more Kluber, and then Kluber again. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, no, it's not enjoyable. And for anybody that may be confused, there's this exploit where you can bring in a two-way player, a guy like Ohtani, Donaldson, any of the guys that are starting pitchers with position secondaries, whatever. You can bring them in out of the bullpen every single game, and they'll never take any sort of stamina penalty. And a lot of people will just start a game with a random pitcher on the mound for the first inning, and then Donaldson or Ohtani will make their way into the game after the first 3 hitters or in the second inning or whatever it is. And it's really frustrating because, with all the variety of cards that we have this year, with all of the different new series of cards that we have, there's so many options you can use. But when there's an exploit for, using these two-way players and people are taking advantage of it every single game, it really makes ranked seasons frustrating to play because, it's every game feels the same. Plus, that Donaldson card is very good with an
It's so good.
outlier slider and, whatever his arsenal is. It's not a fun experience right now in ranked seasons. And, I don't know, it's been a while since this has been in the game. Like it's been in the game since the beginning of the year. So I don't know if the fact that, they released all of these two-way players at the start of season 3 is really what caused them to say, okay, we know there's a problem, we're working on it, or was it something that they knew at the beginning with Otani and then now they're just realizing how big of an issue it can be? I have no idea, but yeah, ranked is not fun right now.
We do know the idea they do see the problem and they're working on it. So it's not like they are ignoring the fact. I mean, they even took out Donaldson and all the two-way players from BR, which is a huge move because I was at least get to play BR. Because I'm not gonna lie, when it was in BR, if I got Donaldson, I drafted him. I had to.
Yeah.
You had to. You're in a disadvantage if you don't do it. So I kind of did that, but I didn't get any far anyway. I figured karma got in the way because each one went away. But yeah, Gold it's unfortunate, but we'll hopefully see a fix soon on it. If not, it's just going to be how we're going to ride out throughout the year. I mean, for it is what it is. You can't really, and you got to say set 3 is only going to last for another what?
It's
About
another like
another
35 days or
35 days.
something.
So after that, they
Yeah.
might not from going to set 4, set 5, sets. Not even set 6 because set 6 will have everything, but the remaining sets might not have any two-way players to avoid it, right? So unless you have a wild card, but if you have the wild card, you're using that. By all means, just go ahead. But that John Donaldson card, I do want to point out that card is amazing. That card is
Yeah.
unreal. Outlier slider, dude. I swear, I have more struggle. I got to face Donaldson and then Randy back to back. I was able to hit Randy just fine.
hmm
I was like, okay, it's Donaldson's probably my number one like kryptonite right now pitcher because every time I see that slider on higher difficulties, whether that be Hall of Fame legend, I'm swinging at. If it's close,
Yeah.
I'm swinging at it.
I've only faced Donaldson on Hall of Fame, so I haven't even I never even got to really experience using or hitting against him in Battle Royale on All-Star. But it was really weird because the first time somebody brought in Donaldson was in, a ranked seasons game like they normally do, and I ended up putting up a 6 spot in the second inning immediately when they brought him in. I'm like, "Oh, this guy's cooked. I am going to beat this guy every time." Ever since then, it has been a struggle. I don't know what that first experience I had against him was, but nothing has been like that ever since. I don't know what happened, but Donaldson has become so much harder for me to hit. And you would think, when you said at the beginning, guys like Kershaw from MLB 19, guys like Kluber from MLB
Yep.
20, you would think the more that you face them, you would recognize their pitches and you'd be able to make those adjustments. And sure, some people out there can, but it's so difficult with having when you're on Hall of Fame and you have a fastball that gets to triple digits, then you have a forkball that completely makes you miss every time, and then you have a slider that completely messes with your perception of the pitch speed. It's so hard to get anything going at least consistently against that card. And I that's one of the reasons it's so frustrating because, if it was just a glitch with Otani, I'd be okay because, I think Otani's hittable, especially that lightning card. He's absolutely hittable. So if somebody brings him in the second inning and wants to use him, sure, he'll be maybe a little tougher than some, middle relievers that you might see. But overall, I still think you can handle Otani more than Donaldson.
Yes.
And the fact that we're seeing him every single game just makes it so frustrating.
Yeah, he's just.
And
Oh, no,
going back to what you said too, just to finish the point here, like you were saying, you're at a disadvantage if you don't use them. So like I can't blame anybody for actually, using the exploit. Like if you're bringing out Donaldson in the second inning of every ranked game, hey, I can't be mad at you. You're just using what's in the game. Like, this is on SDS to get that fixed, and they have not been able to fix it yet. And until they do, we're going to see this throughout all of season 3, going into season 4, because we'll still be able to use all those cards. Like, this problem isn't going away. So SDS, I really hope can figure this out soon.
Yes, I hope so too. I like the ones where they actually when I play rank, someone brings a reliever, so they're just telling me, "Hey, you got this particular 3 at bats to to face my
Yep.
reliever, and then I'm going to bring in Donaldson," which actually helped me because I had to rank. This is like either a week ago or a week and a half ago. Someone brought Felix Batista, the Player Month card. I was able to get, I think, 3 runs off him, and then he brought in Donaldson. And I think I won. I got like 1 run off Donaldson, and it was like a 4-3 type of game. I was like, "Oh, thank you for bringing that reliever in the beginning of the game, because
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
appreciate
able
that.
to get him in." But yeah, it's just something that we had to deal with right now, and hopefully, like you said, SCS has a fix coming our way, or just like maybe some way not letting you bring in starters into relief. They actually do have that because what you're not able to bring in starters when you do online rated or when you play with friends with regular teams. So I'm curious if they could use that particular framework and bring it into Diamond Dynasty, because the code is kind of already there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking technically, maybe it's
I,
harder than I
I
thought.
I don't mind when people bring a starter out of the pen. I got to be honest. Like, if
I think it's
somebody
just a
really,
workaround. That's what I'm thinking for
yeah,
now.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. But in a general sense, like, if like at the base of the conversation, it's like, dude, if you are on your World Series game and you want to bring in Nolan Ryan to get the last 3 outs, to get the save, to get you that World Series berth so you can get that pack, get those stubs, whatever, by all means, I'm fine with that. You're gonna have, the penalty of the stamina with Nolan Ryan. You won't be able to use him as a starter for a few games. I'm totally fine with that trade-off. I don't care if somebody brings a starter in out of the pen. I may say something in the moment like, "Oh, of course he brings in Randy in the 6th inning." Like, I may say that in the moment, but at the end of the day, I know that Randy's getting the stamina penalty that's going to affect my opponent for the next few games. The problem here is that they're just getting no penalty.
Yeah.
There's no balance to this. That's another reason it just makes it so frustrating, is that there's just no competitive integrity in a ranked mode, in the only ranked mode in the game right now, because of this massive exploit.
Yeah, and something I had to do for me to either be successful on these higher like difficulties, I had to work the pitcher. I had to have the pitcher go have like 80 pitches in 5 innings, so I could
Hmm.
sorry, I'm getting a phone call right now, which I didn't apologize here in the back. Which it's kind of, it hurts when I get like a starter 80 pitches, he's going to take him out, and then all of a sudden he has a starter with like max stamina
Yeah.
coming right
Yeah.
after, and I'm just like, oh no. But anyway, we'll see what happens going forward. The cards are great. It's just a matter of be able to use them properly. That's pretty much it right
Yeah.
now, and
Yeah.
hopefully that's soon, because personally, if they fix that, John Donaldson's easily top in my rotation for sure.
Yeah.
Probably until set 3 leaves. So we'll see what happens there, and then we'll go about that. But hopefully next week we're talking about something different where that is fixed and we're not able to see that. Moving on, Kooks. So I'm trying to think what before we move to the all sets event. What was the last event that we had? Because I'm not sure if we talked about that last time.
I think it was just
It was the All
like
Star event, right?
yeah, it was All-Star and like Player of the Month cards and stuff. It was the first event of set 3. I think there was like a Will Smith and who was the other event reward? I don't even remember. I can look at the rewind pack right now. Hold on. It was Will Smith and Jim Edmonds. And no, Delgado was the event before that because he was set 2. Yeah, Will Smith and Jim Edmonds in that last event.
Oh, that's not bad.
And now we've got Luke Raley and Lindor.
Yes, I was very happy to see a Lindor card. I always feel like Lindor. So they have the new event currently going on into, I think, tomorrow. So if you haven't played it yet, you could get on that, or wait until the next event and get the rewind pack.
Mhm.
But they right now have the all sets event where you can play with any particular set. What I liked is that there was some type of restriction on this. I want to see more of that, right? Where you have a
Yeah.
max team of a 92. Unfortunately, I mean, we still deal with the two-way player, but if it played correctly, it's a solid idea. I think that's what events is for. Have that salary type mode if you're not doing any other particular, I guess, unique type of, I don't know what the word to say, like property into where you play, like if it's all lefties or righties. But either way, we get the Lindor. What else we get? Oh, I'm going through that right now. I didn't even play
In that event, we got a Luke Rayleigh,
the oh yes, the Luke Rayleigh card. I forgot about that. Yes, the
95 overall.
95, 90 all. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Sorry, chat. Sorry, whoever's listening. Today I can't talk. Uh, and we got awards. Francisco Lindor, like we talked about, and then the 12 win, which was kind of like spoiled before the event came out, was the 99 Blake Snell. And that Blake Snell got like a little, like the community uproar a little bit, half and half. Like a lot of people didn't like that 99 overall card. But me personally, whenever I face Blake Snell cards, I struggle with. It's the over the top delivery. I know he doesn't have like a meta pitch because he has like the fastball slider changeup type
Yeah,
of repertoire, but the over the top delivery just does it for me. I just can't read it. It's the Tanis, it's the
really.
Blake Snells I always struggle with, but that's me.
Yeah, I don't really plan on getting him. And I have not faced him. I just, I've there's only been a handful of times where I've struggled against a Blake Snell card, and it's either because I haven't faced him in a very long time, or somebody just figures out some weird way to pitch with him that I just don't. I don't know. Like, either way, I'm not going out of my way to try to get 12 wins in events. Plus, the event literally ends tomorrow, so I'm not going to be getting him. But yeah, no, it's at the end of the day, even if he's not good, if you go 12-0, you can sell him for a lot of stubs. So at the end, it doesn't matter to me what the card is. It's kind of like like the opposite of BR right now. It's like BR, you can go 12-0, you sell him, you get a lot of stubs, or you get him through the program, but then you're just stuck with him. And if you don't like, if Blake Snell was in the BR flawless pack, it's like, well, I'm if I choose Blake Snell, he better be good for me, or else I'm just kind of screwed because I can't exchange it for one of the other rewards. So at the end of the day, I just like that there is a 12 win in events, and you can sell them if you don't like them, make some bank, and then just go get them again. Go get another 12 wins.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the day, I don't really care how good or bad those cards are. Obviously, I want them to be good because going 12-0 is, difficult, but if it's at the end of the day, most people are just going to make stubs out of that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not a bad thing to have. So, especially when another way of doing it from playing online as well.
Mhm.
So you'd be able to get some cards to the market, or if you want. But it was a quiet week pretty much last week. We had that event, and that was pretty much it. We had the roster update as well. Over 600 players got updated, and one weird situation that I don't think we ever saw before is that Luis Robert got updated midweek. When they forgot to update his fielding attributes, and once they updated his fielding attributes, he went to diamond. Did you
Oh,
see
really?
that?
I
You
didn't
didn't
even
see it?
realize
Yeah.
that.
So I think it was
Wow.
on a Tuesday, like a random Tuesday or last Tuesday. I gotta see when it happened, but yeah, he was gold when the roster update come up, and then they updated his fielding attributes out of nowhere, and then someone noticed that he's an 87 overall now, so he went to diamond. So you imagine,
Oh, yeah, he is. Wow.
what would be unfortunate? Imagine you had all those cards stacked up for Wilbear on that Friday roster update. It's like, oh, he's not going diamond, and he sold those
Yeah.
gold cards, and then all of a sudden,
Oh,
midweek he goes to 87.
dude, that
You're
would be
like, oh
so
no.
brutal.
So, but yeah, multiple roster updates. I mean, I love the roster updates. It's another like a BR program day, because then I see who goes silver, who goes
Yeah.
gold, and see who plays. I know there was someone that I believe like got downgraded. That was actually, it sucks, but I was happy because it's someone I have a love to use. De La Cruz is now silver, so you'll be able to get him much more. He's becoming, he's like he's like a Mondesi card for me, like the Alberto
Really?
Mondesi card. He plays above his attribute, even though he doesn't have like his live series card doesn't have like the best attributes. It plays above it. And
Huh.
now having the switch hitting shortstop with the 99 speed, he's like the new Mondesi, especially being silver. You'll be able to get him a little bit more often because there's less silver cards in the pool than there is, say, bronze cards. So I
Yeah.
was actually happy to see that. And there was other particular cards that I was happy to see that got either upgraded to silver or downgraded.
Yeah. No, yeah. Roster updates are always cool. I don't really I just don't really invest because I feel like in order to make stubs, like the best way to do it is to invest really early when somebody's at like a low gold and hope they eventually make it to diamond. Because once they change those quick sell results or quick sell values like a year or two ago,
Mhm.
like investing just became a lot more complex. And for me, I was just like, dude, I'm not. I hardly even invested as it was with the very basic quick sell values that they had. So I was like, you know what, dude, I can't even I don't even remember what most of these values are. So yeah, but I love roster updates for the variety that they add to game modes like BR and like you
Yep.
said with Ellie going up and all this type of stuff. Like, the adding variety to the draft pool and then possibly adding variety to like event building and stuff like that. It's just I love how SDS has continued roster updates throughout the years of the game and just used it as a way to accurately or for the most part accurately reflect what the league is looking like with those live series cards. I love that they're dynamic. I love that they can be changed. I love that they can be supercharged.
Yep.
um I wish there was still a way for live series cards to be a little bit more viable and ranked, but at the end of the day, I think the best way they're going to do that is supercharged, unless they want to bring them up to like a 99, but then that kind of kills, the opportunity for flashback cards and stuff like that. But
No.
I think the way they have it right now is good. I love the roster updates, and I love that they do this one every year, like halfway through. It's like, all right, we've been changing hitting, changing, a lot of different attributes when it comes to that.
Mhm.
It's time to give the people who are good with the glove, a little bit of love as well. So yeah,
That's what I did.
roster updates are good.
That's what I didn't see. Don't they also do on this particular roster update if they have a new pitch to give them the new pitch? That's something
I
I didn't
think
check.
yeah, maybe.
I didn't check. I need to check on that for like the new, like the silvers and bronzes. That's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, I'm with you. Roster updates are always great to have. And then I don't. They've been far and few between, but I kind of like it because it
Hmm.
feels like an eventful day. Because we're used to like every other week. I don't think it feels like
Yeah.
it's been every other week. I feel like it's been like maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks sometimes. But for me, I kind of like that because it feels like you could build up, especially if you are investing, and then it just feels like a big content type of drop as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, moving on to do the content they dropped earlier this week, and then um, on Friday as well is the mini seasons. We got new mini seasons, all
Hmm.
righties, where you could get a 97 Starling Marte uh, flashback. It's an all star card. And I believe there's some other cards that you can get too. I just gotta look
Yeah,
through.
some lower overall ones. I don't even remember who most of them are. I think there's like there might be an IKF. There's like a random
Yeah, there's
IKF that
a
came out. He
random.
might be in there.
Yes, I remember that. There was a random IKF. Someone in chat. I mean, be freeze. I haven't played the mini season, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah,
but
neither have I.
but yeah, I remember there was some random cars that were into, and they were like 90, 92 overalls. And not only that, it was fun to see like the lower diamonds. This is where I kind of want events to take these like lower diamonds and plug them into, because if you look at the 92s, you're not going to bring them into ranked currently. The Brandon Jury, as Ryan from chat asked, I forgot about that. There's another Brandon Jury card from his All Star year. I mean, his
Yeah,
yeah, Silver Slugger. I think it was actually a Wars card, I believe.
yeah, it's an
Um,
awards card.
so, but I will love to utilize that a little bit more into like events where it has that salary cap. Um, I had another train of thought too. I'm just I have all these thoughts today, and they're going out the
You're good,
window. I
man.
don't know what it
You're
is.
good.
This whole week has been just out of the ordinary for me. But to go back to, I would love the low 90s, and there was some other low 90s that we got. And I'm trying to, oh, the Tops Now cards. So you saw the Tops Now cards. They brought some cards that already have like a 99 overall card or 97, 98. Now they have a lower diamond, like the Stanton they dropped.
Yep.
It tops out. Not only that, Ella De La Cruz, a 94, so a little bit more attainable than, say, the one that you get from the Chase Pack with the milestone card. So I love seeing that they're willing to still give the these players lower tier diamonds, even if they have like a 99. So maybe
Yeah.
you don't have a shot to play with that particular card because it might be out of reach depending on if it's stubs or you just don't want to do the grind. But this is a way to get this particular player. It might not be up to the tier of this card, but it'll still be usable. So I love seeing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And that could be valuable in, like you said, like events. If 99 Ellie De La Cruz, if you have him, but he's making your team way too high overall, throw that 94 in there. If you really want to use Ellie in a specific event, you can, having that ability to kind of use the same player but help him like fit the mold of the team you're trying to build, is a good thing in those modes. So yeah, definitely, even though he's not a 99, he has that value. And I see you looking at that Carlos Correa, who just got a 99 in the World Series rewards a few weeks ago, or
he was incognito. Carlos.
So like,
but this card right here it's not bad.
Not bad at all. High contact, mid 80s power, diamond fielding. Like that's a solid shortstop.
This reminds me of attribute wise. I know he's not a switch hitter, but the Marte that we got.
Which one?
The 94 Marte that we got like last year. Was it last year? His attributes look just like that.
Oh, yeah, the second half Marte.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so, the 93, I think he was. Yeah, he was so good.
He was so good. I know he's not a switch hitter for Carlos Correa, but still, very usable card. And then we got the Stanton as well. We all know what comes with Stanton cards with the high power. This actually looks like his, what was that Marlins card? I forget. Was it an All-Star card? Where you had
the Stanton?
It was usually he get a flashback. It was a flashback.
Yeah, well, they've used that same card and made him different overalls in multiple years. Like I remember one year that card was a 93, and then another year it was a 97. Okay. So it's like they've used the same card art. Yeah. Dude.
Oh, go ahead.
The Stanton. I don't know if you remember the Stanton from MLB 17, the finest.
Yes.
Giancarlo Stanton with the Marlins. Man, that is still a card that if I had to build a team of players from every MLB The Show that I like, that just killed me, he would be on that squad. That is 6 years removed, and I still remember giving up a home run to that card every single time I faced him. That was
the first finest year, right?
That was the first finest set with Altuve and all those guys.
The Joey Votto card. Votto card was good. They had a Gary Sanchez. They had a Pat Neshek card.
Yeah, wow.
Back in the day.
I think there was a Kluber in there. There might have been a Strasburg.
There was a Lindor in there.
There was a Lindor. Yeah, man.
Gary Sanchez?
And I think there was literally only 12 finest cards in that year. I think it was 12 total.
Yeah, it wasn't like 30.
It was a Severino.
Oh, yeah, there was. And it dropped so late, so it had the Christmas theme for the card art.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which was pretty cool touch. And then
look how far finest has come. Now we go from 12 in the first year to like, what do we get? Like 50 to 60 last year.
And we're
craziness.
Probably get like classic finest cards maybe and then
we already do.
Cards.
We get retro finest.
Oh, yeah, we get the retro finest, yeah. And speaking of that would be a good segue, which we did just get a retro finest in a dynamic duo with Mark Mulder getting a 99 card plus Alex Gordon. And Alex Gordon card, that might be his best card we ever seen that he ever had in Diamond Dynasty.
Gotta be honest, haven't even looked at him.
Not bad.
Haven't been on the game in a couple days. Wow. This card is good.
Yeah, right?
This card's low-key really good. What the hell? For anybody, I'm sure Scuffy's gonna pull him up here, but dude, this guy's got insanely high contact. And, he doesn't have max power or anything, but that power absolutely plays with those contact numbers. 97 fielding with 92 reaction, 116 clutch. Dude, we can play third base? this card is sick.
Yeah. Plays first, third, center, right. And as Healy pointed in the chat, great swing too.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I literally looked like I was on Twitter and I saw, oh, Alex Gordon is a new
Exactly.
Diamond Duo. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't have to get on the game today. And now I'm like, dude, I should have made a video with this guy. This guy's insane.
Yeah. I'm with you. You usually overlook when you hear Alex Gordon, you think, oh, high defense attributes, and then maybe some good contact and go from there. But yeah, this is kind of, good card all around. So you love to see that. And then, of course, we get Mark Mulder getting his first 99 card. The last Mark Mulder card that you were able to get was through mini seasons. I believe that was the first mini season that for this particular year. When he had
the lefty loosey, I think.
Yep. And then this card doesn't look half bad. Especially if you need a nice lefty with control. He has 118 stamina, 105 H per 9s off the bat, 107 K per 9, and then 106 walks per 9. It doesn't have the velocity, but very similar to how the 99 Kershaw looks.
Yeah. I think he's got to have either higher hits per 9 or higher clutch to really be like a top of the line starter. Yeah. But the pitch mix is great. Like you said, the control is amazing. Or the walks per 9, I'm sorry, is amazing. The control is only at 88, but should be, he's got a great pitch mix, should be pretty easy to locate with. And like I said, it's all about how you pitch with a guy like this. He's got so many different pitches, but if you get predictable and just throw a sinker every pitch, things probably aren't going to go well. So it's all about mixing in those other pitches, because every pitch has a, kind of a distinctive speed differential. So you can really get creative with your sequencing with this card.
Oh, hands down. I'm actually looking forward to using it. I fell in love with high control pitchers when playing ranked. My Greg Maddux, I use Greg Maddux, and he's probably my favorite pitcher in the game right now. Just by the base, just the base of how much control you get off him, because his par is minimal, and if you get your perfect inputs and you're able to mix up his pitches very well. I feel like, and I have in 4 games, I have like a 1.7 ERA or something like that. All in Hall of Fame. And the only hits, like the runs he gave up, or home runs, is when I try to be too fancy, and I throw like a circle change like outside, but they're reading that so well and they blast it over the field. But yeah, Grad Magus cards I've been liking. The Cliff Lee I've been using and being successful with, and the Zach Gallen. The 99 Zach Gallen I've been actually liking. I'm just curious what my stats are with Zach Gallen. I'll look that up. But yeah, I like it. I was just looking for a lot of pitchers that had high H per 9s. Let's see. Could have been a little bit better. Oh, I only have 10 innings with him, so I must think something different. But yeah, I have a 4.22 ERA. In 10 innings with them. But yeah, I didn't mind using him. I don't know. I kind of shy away from the pitchers that don't have, like, they might have the outlier and stuff like that, but don't have the control. And I'm terrible with my control with pinpoint right now. So I got to use those type of pitchers in order to have a chance.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So we got the mini seasons last week, and then this week earlier we got the Shark Map. Shark Map, we know if you haven't,
we have the Shark Map.
If you haven't played MLB The Show, Diamond Dynasty, or this is your first year, the Shark Map, I don't even know. It's probably whenever Conquest. When did Conquest actually debut? Was that 18?
MLB 16.
16? It's been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought it was later.
16.
All right. So ever since pretty much Conquest debuted, there was always one special map that we was looking forward to, and that was the Shark Map. And the reason is they give you a lot of packs to open, and some of them are very good packs, including this time around you get one chase pack. I had it pulled up. Let me see if I can get it right back here. But I know there's multiple. There's a monthly pack. There's a multiple Diamond Duo packs. I forgot I even had the game up here. Joe, I'm so off today. But there we go. Yeah, we get a jumbo pack. You get Diamond Duos, bunch of bow and habit packs, and then a couple of 5 bundles as well. And it's helping the market as well, because a lot of people have been pulling those higher tier diamonds. I mean, LA is still going for a lot. I think last time I saw him was around like 400K, but he was at like around 550 before the day dropped. I mean, before the map dropped.
Yeah, yeah, no, Ellie's still going to be expensive because, as far as I know, other than the thing at the end of the featured program where you do that the little wheel thing and you get that chance to get one of the packs or whatever, that's the only way you've been able to get a chase pack other than just opening a 50 bundle and getting it as the topper. So I love that they're giving more ways to get chase packs. Like, you can't give out too many because obviously the more chase packs that are out there, the lower the reward is for actually, getting Ellie or whoever the featured player is, right? But I like that they're giving more ways to actually get a chase pack. Like, I would love at, maybe a certain number of event wins, maybe you get a chase pack, or like, if you, in addition to maybe making World Series or going 12-0, you also get a chase pack or something, because these are like, these have the potential to be the best packs in the game when you actually, get the featured reward, but you're not going to get that every time. Like, I know our guy Wheels just opened a ton of like 20 or 30 chase packs and didn't get Ellie. And so it's like, you're not always going to get them, but like, if you give out a few more, people get that chance, and I don't think it's going to bring the cost down of Ellie that much. So I like that they are putting out more chase packs and giving more ability to actually earn them, because these chase pack players are going for a lot on the market. And like, we already seen what happened with adding the one from the shark map and seeing, what it's done to Ellie, and his price in the market. So, it's good. I like it.
I don't think I mentioned to you that I pulled Ellie. I pulled Ellie 2 weeks ago. I think it was like the day after we recorded. I think I had like 75, or there was something, because there was a sub sale, so I sold a lot of cards. I was like, all right.
Oh.
And so whenever the sub sale was, so I saw a lot of cards, and I was like, all right, let me get a 50 bundle. I was able
Did you
to
tweet it?
Yeah.
I feel like I may have seen it. I don't remember though.
I've been lucky this year with pack luck. I was able to pull. Well, I already sold my Mickey beforehand, but now I kind of wish I didn't, because I wasn't really playing ranked, so I just sold my Mickey. I don't know, because I was trying to build like an all-time Met team, but now I kind of wish I kept Mickey, but that's a different story. So, yeah, my pack luck with the chase packs have been very lucky this year, so I'm not complaining. I know it's not for everyone. Like you just said, Wheels open. I think it was like around 50. I think you did more than 30.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't remember.
And he didn't even get anything. But yeah, either way, that you brought up a point. Like, if you make World Series BR, be kind of good way of, if people keep on playing at the World Series, that'd be a good way to say, put the, like, either that's for when you get 1,000, or you get like chase packs. Or I like how they did with the XP program though, with the rewind, but then again, you have to get to that rewind before you even have a shot, and then you have to get the luck of actually pulling that.
Yeah, and I mean, when you get to like, the only way you do that at the moment is if you get to 1,200. 1,200, you get a 50 bundle, which obviously includes a chase pack, but it would be nice if maybe for every 1,000 rating points you get after, you get a chase pack. It's like they're making it seem like when you get to 1,200, it's like, oh sweet, I get one chase pack. And yeah, you get the opportunity to pull Ellie De La Cruz or whoever the player is for that pack, but like, that's at the end of the day, somebody who's at 1,200 rating probably is going to be able to get Ellie without a problem. They'll probably be able to make some stubs and play BR and get 12-0 or whatever. Like, they're going to find a way to get the stubs to get the cards that they need, because if they're playing at the highest level, they're going to have the best cards on their team regardless. So it feels kind of redundant to give a chase pack at 1,200 and not at any other point before that. So yeah, I just feel like if they can add more of them throughout, different areas of Diamond Dynasty, but we'll see. I'm just happy that they've done it a little bit already.
Yeah, I agree. And we'd like to see more of that. All right, now to get to the talking point of the show, even though we're like 40 minutes into the show, and that is Extreme coming to tomorrow. We already saw some cards being released. I believe the 3 cards we saw already were Mike Piazza, Billy Wagner, both of them not in Mets unis, by the way. I don't know how I feel about that. And Marte being dropped again. His second 99. We saw one in set 1. Now we're going to see one in set 3. And
Mhm.
that's the first talking point, I think, is that these will be set 3 cards. And I think the biggest feedback a lot of people have been talking about is if I'm going to do the string program, make it worthwhile. Um, do I just want these cards for so amount of days before they leave when putting this amount of work in the extreme program? There's a lot of different ways you could go about it here, because I think I'll tell you mine first off. I'm fine with it being set 3. However, I will love if you do the program and there's a collection, that collection card is a core card.
That makes sense. I think that's a totally fair way to look at it. Or even just, if they have it set up like last year where you got, it was like Kerry Wood, Chapman, forget one of the other cards, and then like Donaldson at the end. Like whoever's the end program reward for
Yeah.
this one, maybe that's just a core card or something like that. Like, I think that's totally fine. At the end of the day, I'm fine with them being set 3 cards because when you really think about it, uh, set 3 is really the last cards that will be like phased out in general in this game because set 4 will be set 4 and set 3, or season 4 will be set 4 and
Yeah.
set 3. Season 5 will be set 5 and set 4. So yes, in season 5 you won't be able to use the cards from Extreme, but the season after that, season 6, anybody's available.
Yep.
So it's really only one season that you're not going to get to use this card. It's not like all the World Baseball Classic players. Like if you like really want to use all the Japanese players, or if you really want to use, all the players from the Dominican Republic who don't have other cards in the game, whatever. Like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to use those cards until set 6. So that kind of sucks. But really, we're talking about only one season where you don't get to use the players. And if you really want to use them, you can wildcard one of them. So, I don't really think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. However, you do have to factor in the context of it, and Extreme has a reputation. It is by definition, or by the way it's marketed, it is the most difficult program to complete in the entire game due to its requirements, due to the things you're going to have to do. So yes, I do see why people want it to be core cards, because if you're going to make me do the most difficult gameplay tasks that you have to offer, I feel like you should be able to use the cards all year. So yeah, I really do see both sides. At the end of the day, I am fine with with it being set 3, but if it were to be core, it wouldn't change my opinion either way.
No, it wouldn't. I kind of wouldn't want all the cards to be core because you wouldn't see lineup variety that much. If they were that OP, like let's just say Marte, for example. Marte, if he was a core card, he would be in the lineup probably from set 3 to 5 until you get like finest cards. That might be better, but switch any 99 cards kind of hard to say no to. But either way, we'll see what happens on Friday. I'm sure they're aware of everyone saying they wish there were core cards. I definitely think there will be at least one. Definitely one.
Okay.
It has to be. But either way, going to Extreme. Now, you love Extreme. So what's the preparation of Extreme? Do you play the game throughout the week? Or do you just leave the game alone because you know that you're going to be on hours of trying to do maybe a particular moment or a particular mission that you need to get done? And with it being Extreme, it's going to take a bit. So is this like the rest time, like the eye of the storm that you have throughout the week? And then all of a sudden Friday, it's like, it's go time. Here we go, baby.
Yeah, I'm like Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavalier, LeBron James, where I delete social media for the entire week or months in the playoffs. Like I'm all focused. No, I just I see my opinion on Extreme has shifted a little bit because I'm actually going to be posting a video on my YouTube channel today where I go back and play some of the old moments from Moments Extreme. So I went back and played some on 19, some on
Okay.
20, and then some on 22. And because they took it off in MLB 21, they just didn't do Extreme
Yeah,
that
I
year for
remember that.
whatever reason.
Yep, yep.
Um, but the difference in difficulty from 19 and 20 to 22 is, to me, honestly, like night and day. Like
Oh, okay.
22, at least in terms of the moments. In 22, the moments were significantly easier. Like there were some ones that maybe caused you some trouble here and there, but like at the end of the day, it was nothing like how it was in MLB 19. MLB 19, you had a moment to hit for the cycle with Christian Yelich. There was a moment where you had to get 4 extra base hits with Sean Green in one game. There was hit 3 home runs with Babe Ruth in one game, not at Yankee Stadium, by the way. There was pitch an entire game, I think, on either Hall of Fame or Legend against the best home run hitters in the game and don't allow a home run, which you know how it goes. That was before pinpoint. Sometimes your pure analog would just hang and they would crush it. Like there was a lot of randomness. The moments in 19 and 20 were were designed to be way more frustrating than they were designed in MLB 22. In MLB 19 and 20, I think there was only maybe a couple moments that weren't at least on Hall of Fame or Legend. In MLB 22, there wasn't a single moment, I think, above All-Star. Like, there was
Oh, wow.
nothing, like, they were not nearly as difficult. Now, in MLB 22, or in MLB 20, they added the Showdown and the Conquest. The Showdown, every boss, I think, is on Hall of Fame. And the Conquest was very, what's it called? Very tedious because there was a lot of turn-based missions. In MLB 22, they brought back the Showdown, they brought back the Conquest, but they also added the parallel XP grind with the Carry Wood card. You had to get him to at least parallel 4, or if you got him to parallel 5, I think you could skip one of the other elements of Extreme. But they streamlined Extreme a lot in MLB 22, and I get why they've done that, because they probably the reason they didn't do Extreme in 21 is because it was so difficult in 19 and 20. But I think part of the charm of Extreme is that it's very self-aware. It knows that it's difficult, and it knows that, you know, when you get really close to beating one of those moments and then you you have 3 extra base hits and then your last at bat, you get a line out to center field and then the big try again comes across the middle of the screen. It's like, all right, dude, whatever. Like it has that little element of like, yeah, this, we know it's frustrating, huh? We know you want to get mad. And I feel like part of that was taken away in 22 just to make it more like attainable and more palatable for a larger percentage of the player base. So I'm and I don't think for this year's Extreme it's going to go back to how difficult it was in 19 and 20. I just hope that they can find maybe a little bit more of that middle ground. I hope that, the moments in 23 are just maybe a little bit tougher than they were in 22, and just kind of find that middle ground where it's not impossible, but if you really know what you're doing, you can get these done. Like you'll be able to handle this. So that's kind of what I hope with, at least just for the moments portion of Extreme, is this year. But we'll just have to wait and see, man. Like, and the best tip I can give for anybody that's doing Extreme, at least the moments, is just understand that you're gonna get frustrated. Understand that there are gonna be some moments that are gonna piss you off. You're gonna have a 10 total base moment and you're gonna be at 8, and then the CPU is gonna throw you 4 straight balls in the other batter's box, and you're gonna be like, what the hell? How am I supposed to get 10 if you don't throw me a strike? Things like that are gonna happen. That's what Extreme is. It's all about being patient and don't let it get to you too much. Just understand what you're getting yourself into.
No, you're the man to talk about it, so I couldn't say that any better. But yeah, I'm curious if they made it a little bit less difficult because the whole Xbox. I mean, you have Xbox, Switch. Imagine doing Switch with Extreme. Why do you do that? That's a good concept.
That's a whole challenge video right there.
There we go. Let's see what you could do. But yeah, the one thing I will love is I think we say this every year is this brings some type of online aspect of whether it is a BR that's on Hall of Fame or Legend or like I don't know if you could do event right now, but it's just because how the glitches with the exploit. Like I don't know if that
Well,
would bring another thing.
I think they could because the event literally there's a new event that starts tomorrow, and I don't believe they've said anything about what the new event is going to be.
Okay.
But I think if you just make the event, I think the best way to do an extreme event is just make it Hall of Fame, and then maybe, don't allow certain players if they really want to go against or they really want to, avoid the exploit. Just maybe they could just do what they
Maybe
did in BR and just take
gold
them
and
out of
below,
yeah.
something like that.
That's maybe
Yeah.
or just maybe even just 98 and below.
All
Because
the
that way you
two-way,
wouldn't
yeah,
be able
because
to
all
use
the two-way
99.
players. Oh yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. All the two players.
I
in
think
99.
that's if that's what they're worried about, I think that's one of the ways they could kind of combat that. But then again, I don't know. We don't even know if there is going to be an extreme event. It kind of makes sense though.
Yeah, I will love an online, whether it be events or like BR or something like that. So that'd be kind of cool. Now, out of the cards that we saw already, do they interest you, or they're like, okay, I
Um,
gotta wait and see because we already have so many catchers, especially with that are already here. I mean, we still have Mauer. Well, then again, Mauer's set 2. What's set 3 catchers that we have that are
we
probably
have
upper tier?
Schwarber.
We have
We have, or
Schwarber,
wait, was Schwarber was he set 2
Adley.
or set 3?
No,
Schwarber was also set 2.
yeah. So we have
Um,
Adley. That's one, but you had to
Adley,
get the
we
collection for
have
that.
yeah. I feel like there's another one that I'm missing, but oh, Diaz, the world or
Oh yes, oh, I
All-Star
see.
Game
Yes,
MVP.
yes.
Yeah, it's probably the big one I'm missing there. I mean, but then again, you can still use all these set 2 cards. You can still use Mike Napoli. You can still use Joe Mauer. You can still use Schwarber. But yeah, I think Adley is probably the biggest one.
Mm.
But yeah, Piazza doesn't really get me all that excited just because I've never really been that good with a Piazza card. I know they've tweaked his swing over the years to make him better. But I don't know. He doesn't really excite me. As of right now, Marte is definitely the one that catches my eye the most.
Yep.
Granted, I have a plethora of guys that play at the positions he plays at that are performing really well for me. So he's got to be like the Ketel Marte from last year to really kind of have that kind of spark on my team. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. How many cards did we get from last year? We got, like you said, we got the.
I think we got
Kerry Wood.
4.
We got 4, yeah. So probably, well, we don't know.
Kerry-
We always could switch this up and give us as many cards as we want. So we'll see what comes there. But yeah, extreme is something I just don't go into, Kooks. I'll let you guys do it. I watch for the entertainment value of what you guys go, because each time it drops, the Twitch directory is flooded with this
Mhm.
program. A lot of people trying to do the program as soon as possible. So my entertainment, just see how everyone's doing, and then don't have to deal with it, because I don't know. That's just something like me. There's unless there's an online portion. If there's an online person, I'm going to try it out, and if that's an event.
Well, yeah, it probably will be the event. But yeah, no, and you can, if you get a certain amount of event wins, it might even be something like they've done with Player of the Month or whatever,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like every event win gets you 1 point. So you can, if you want to just, if it's 100 points, if you want to get 100 event wins,
Hey,
go
why
for it. And
not?
there you go.
We'll see what happens. Well, you're gonna
Um,
need so many wins to get like to the 99. That's for the 12-win streak. So might as well.
yeah, there you
So
go.
there you go. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how Extreme's going to be come tomorrow. I'm just happy it's continuing, and I think the communities are very excited about it because it's something that that's always enjoyable, even though it's not.
I think this is actually the earliest they've ever done that. Like, let me look at when MLB 22's Extreme dropped, because I think it normally drops in either like August or September. Last year it dropped at the end of August, and now we're getting it at the end of September, or at the end of July. I'm sorry. Like, I think this is the earliest they've ever brought Extreme into the game. So I wonder, maybe that'll mean more Extreme later on down the line, because you remember how they did it in 19. It came out with, it had the 3 different sets of moments. It had the caution, the warning, and the seriously moments. The caution moments and the warning moments came out, I think, the same day in like early September, and then the seriously moments came out in like January or something. So they had 2 phases of extreme, and I think that's the only time they've done that. But maybe they'll do it again. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I'm just happy it's here.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. That'd be kind of cool if they could continue adding on, and see what
Mhm.
happens. I know we're almost an hour into it, so maybe we'll keep the player of the month predictions just based on the fact who we might get for 99. I think we already know who's going to get the 99, right?
I mean, I think we all know who people want, but there is a couple guys that could give the popular pick a run for his money when you just break it down to the stats.
Uh-oh. Let me hear it then. So the person,
So
the player that, first off, the player that we're talking about is, of course, Cody Bellinger. He's hitting over like 420 for the month. It's finally looked like he's back. Belly is back. So anyway, but I'm very curious of who you think rivals it.
you've got Manny Machado, who
Oh,
has 11 home runs in the month. And if we're talking about how many does Bellinger have here? Let me see. Where's the Cubs? Bellinger has. Why is it not giving me Bellinger's numbers? I don't know. But Manny Machado has 11 home runs in the month of July. You've got guys like Kyle Tucker having an awesome month. You've got even a guy like Contreras is hitting 442 this month. Like there's guys that are having good months. Once again, I think the popular pick and the pick that they'll probably go with just because they know how popular it would be Bellinger.
yep.
But I'm just saying, at least even if we're looking at just the 98s, there's guys that could be there right with him. And I'm just
Those are not bad names
I
to
hope it is
have.
Belly though.
Yeah, I'm
No,
hoping
definitely not.
I'm hoping it's Belly as well. I love me a 99 Belly, even though he has some 99 cards in this in Diamond Dynasty era that are just unbelievable. I mean, his finest from 19 is still probably one of the top cards that we ever saw.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so it'd be interesting to see how it goes about it for this year. Before we get off, it had to be a topic because the 31st is a big day for the Major League Baseball. I actually think it's August 1st, right? Now I forget what it is,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about the Major League Baseball trade deadline. And news today, it looks like your team's going for it. So I just had to hear, like, how are you feeling as an Angels fan? I mean, I see a lot of mixed stuff out there between
Yeah.
Angels fans because part of them want them to sell, part of them want to keep. But I think the majority wanted to sell because if they don't make it to playoffs this year, that kind of sets the franchise back.
Yeah. For full transparency, I'm team sell. Obviously,
Okay.
that's not going to happen anymore. But I was team sell at the All-Star break last year because they were in a much like this year they're in a much better spot than they were last year. And I wanted them to sell Otani last year because I think the haul they would have gotten would have been way more because he wouldn't have just been a rental. They would have gotten whoever would have gotten him would have gotten a whole nother year. So I was on team sell, and to me it makes more sense long term. Granted, no matter what, you are probably never going to get a trade package that is worth the value of Shohei Otani. No matter how many
Mhm.
prospects you get or whatever, him being a pitcher and a hitter, a guy that basically manages 2 roster spots in one, there is no trade that's going to be equal to the value that Otani can bring to a team. So, at the end of the day, you kind of have the pick on who you want if you do trade him, right? You can pick any prospect from any team's system, really, and they'll probably give him up to get Otani. But they're not going to be trading Otani. We are going for it. Picked up Lucas Giolito last night. Traded 2 of our top prospects to get him. I don't know, man. I hope they do make it
I'm rooting for
because
you
I think
guys.
the
I
I
am.
think the only chance that Otani even thinks about re-signing with the Angels is if they make a deep playoff run. And
Okay.
even then, I don't even know if that's going to be enough to get him to stay because we saw what the 5 years before this looked like. And, a lot of the guys on the team, Trout's getting older. Guys like Hunter Renfroe are a guy that's only on the team for this year. And, Lucas Giolito will be a free agent. Like the team will probably look a little different next year anyway, regardless of whether Otani's back or not. So long term, I wanted them to trade, but for now, we're all in. We gotta do it, And they have a big series coming up against the Blue Jays starting tomorrow. Got to do well there in Toronto, and then I think they play somebody else after that. That's also really good. I can't remember who they play, but it's a pretty tough little trip they've got coming up. So they got to play some good ball, man. Like they're going for it, but there's a lot of good talent in the AL. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. I'm rooting for you guys. We need to see Ohtani and Trout in the playoffs together, especially after we saw what happened at WBC with those players.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be great to see them in the playoffs and see what happens. I mean, now your rotation, if you get in the playoffs, would be like Ohtani, Giolito, and I guess Reed.
Sandoval, Reed Detmers, Reed Detmers, somewhere in that.
So that it's not a bad three to have, to be honest with you. And you'll see in the Mets. I'm still sell. I don't think they're coming back, but I want them just to sell the rental players. I feel like Scherzer and Verlander are going to go nowhere. I think it's just going to be the rental players. Definitely Tommy Pham, who is putting up a great year for what people thought he was worth beforehand. And then David Robinson has been absolutely amazing for us in the replacement of Edwin Diaz. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. By next week, I'll be pressing F5 on my computer just to see all the – it's always fun to see the trade deadline as a fan, just to see all the moves, see who gets better, who sells, and stuff like that. So it'll be fun to see. And then
maybe the show actually does something with the deadline this year. Maybe.
I mean, they've kind of been doing that, right? They're doing big moments in MLB, and I mean, we saw the draft cards, same face, or was they did have cards like that, a pack like that.
They had a set of moments like that, like one time where it was like new place, same face, whatever they called it. Like they had a set of moments in the off season, but I don't think they've ever done dedicated trade deadline cards.
They did packs though.
Yeah.
They did like but it was like a starter pack. I forgot what it was called. I'm trying to see if I can find it, but I don't think I can.
But that was years ago.
Yeah, that was definitely. There were so many different packs. There were those like primetime packs, swing for the fences pack, just random packs. Now it's just accustomed to we still get those random packs. They're just in a different type of form. Anyway, I'm rambling on, and like I've been all this episode. Once again, appreciate you guys all tuning in. Hope the best. I really do. I hope the best. This is Kunio Cougs regarding tomorrow. Hope everything goes your way. I'm sorry if the computer screws you over too many times tomorrow or throughout the time you do the program, but hope you guys will enjoy it and get those cards and be able to enjoy those cards moving forward once you finish the Extreme program. We'll be back next week to talk about all of our experience about the Extreme program. Player of Month, we're not sure when it's going to drop just yet. It might be next Friday. It might be before that. If it's before that, we'll talk all about the program next week, and we'll go from there. So appreciate you guys listening, watching on YouTube. Remember, we're doing this on YouTube every Thursday, roughly around 12 to 1 Eastern, and that's 9 to 10 Pacific time if you're keeping up your time zones. So be sure to shoot over there on Thursdays. If you're listening to us every Friday, we'll be dropping episodes. Be sure to come back every Friday on all I'm going to have to edit that out. All podcast platforms. And be sure to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/Inside the Show. Once again, Inside the Show PC on Twitter. You can follow my boy Cougs at Cougs46. I'm at Scuffing TV. We'll catch you guys next time on the next Inside the Show. You guys have a good one. Peace out.